welcome to the Winning Post powered by the Serum Institute of India. I'm Chaiti Narula. As usual, we've got a lot of horse racing action lined up in store for you, but before that, let's take a look at the headlines.
On the Winning Post today, we take a look at the second classic of the racing season, the Deltin Casinos Indian 2000 Guineas. After that, from the west, we move east to Calcutta to take a look at the Calcutta Oaks. And finally, a battle of the sexes rages on the Winning Post, trying to determine which is more important in the breeding equation, the stallion or the broodmare.
So as per the books, it's 50-50%. My personal belief, both of them are equally important.
A very important time of the year for the Indian horse racing fraternity. We're at the second classic of the Mumbai horse racing calendar at the Deltin Casinos Indian 2000 Guineas here at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Is it going to be Silver Arrow? Is it going to be Allendale? Is it going to be Marinsky? Is it going to be any other horse in the fray? Let's find out.
The excitement was palpable. An air of expectation hung about the RWITC in Mumbai as the crowds thronged the racecourse for the second classic of the Indian racing season, the Deltin Casinos Indian 2000 Guineas. Like last Sunday, this time around too, an open-air casino kept racegoers engaged and delighted in between the races thanks to the presenting sponsor Deltin Casinos. Much like their casinos in Goa, at the racecourse too, the setup was a gamer's paradise with the best in live gaming on offer. Patrons could participate in poker, baccarat, American roulette and blackjack tournaments for a chance to win an all-expense-paid trip to Goa, again courtesy of Deltin Casinos. While the casino games kept people occupied in between the races, the racing action delivered a punch with 9 races on the cards, of which the most important and looked forward to was the Deltin Casinos Indian 2000 Guineas. 9 top-notch 3-year-olds came into the parade ring for this one, and the crowds were eager to see which of these would reign supreme. First up was the much-favoured Allendale from Altamash Ahmed Stables with A. Sandesh on board, who was coming fresh into the contest with a win at the Mathuradas Gokuldas Trophy at the start of the racing season here. Allendale was followed by Dynamo, trained by Janardhan, who had run third at the Deccan Bookmakers Golconda 2000 Guineas, and with Imran Chisti on his back, looked promising enough. Calconero from Dallas Dodiwala's yard was next, with S. John holding his reins. The Malaysian Naredu-trained Falcon, who was making his first appearance this season, came next with Suraj Naredu riding him. Then came the S. Kanpati-trained Muroy with B. Shrikant on his back, who enjoyed the maximum share of support from the markets. He had won the Metro Motors Auto Hanger Sir H.M. Mehta Million a month ago and looked promising enough to deliver another victory here. Muroy's stablemate Scenic Warrior was next, with F. De Silva partnering him in the saddle. Silver Arrow from Pacey Shroff's yard followed, with 1000 Guineas winning jockey Trevor Patel on board, and looked like one who would make Muroy work for his oats. Silver Streak from Dallas Dodiwala's yard came next, and last was winner of the Indian 1000 Guineas Marinsky from Pacey Shroff's stable, who had S. Zervan riding her. The only filly in the fray, but one who would surely give the boys some stiff competition. As the 9 contenders lined up at the gates, Silver Arrow, who had drawn 4th, reared up and slipped inside the gates and was hence withdrawn moments before the final showdown. It was down to the other 8, and as they settled in, the starter set them off.
Gates open for the Deltin Casino Indian 2000 Guineas. Left standing in the gate there, Scenic Warrior. And as they settle down to race, it's Allendale is the leader. Allendale in the dark blue and yellow, now being passed by Silver Streak, sporting the yellow cap. Silver Streak is about 3 lengths in front of Allendale in second. Another 3.5 lengths behind is Muroy in third. Keeping in company on the far side, sporting the red cap is Falcon as they pass the 1200. Very close behind is Dynamo. On the near side, sporting the white cap in the blue jacket is Marinsky, the winner of the 1000 Guineas. 3 behind there. At the back of the field is Falconero as they pass the 1000. Silver Streak, a length and a half ahead of Allendale, 2.5 length behind is Murray on the outside, the winner of the Poonawalla Breeders Multi-Million on the Wales Falcon. Not too far away is Marinsky. On the near side is Dynamo as they pass the 600-meter marker and running down towards the entrance of the home straight. 4 behind at the back of the field there. Falconero as the head turns for home. Round the town and into the street, Silver Streak just in front of Allendale is galloping on the near side. 3.5 length behind is Murray is now making a quick forward move. After that is Falcon and Marinsky, but it is Allendale, and just look at Murray coming up with a dazzling run on the near side in the golden brown. 3 behind is Silver Streak. Marinsky is now making a forward move, but it is Murray on the near side. Allendale is on the outside, far side, but Murray has gone away. Is leading by more than 3 lengths ahead of Allendale. After that is Marinsky and Dynamo. Murray is well clear. Allendale takes the second spot ahead of Marinsky. After that is Falcon, Dynamo. Silver Streak, last of all there is Falconero.
With Silver Arrow out of contention, the competition was between Allendale and Murray. With 300 to go, Shrikant increased the tempo and Murray set blazing pace to catch up with Allendale, who until then had the lead. Murray stretched away and crossed the winning post 3.5 lengths clear of Allendale, who was followed by Marinsky 2.25 lengths later. Murray is a son of Dubawi and clocked an impressive 1 minute 35.52 to take home the winner's share. Jockey Shrikant was delighted with the champion under him and looked every bit the champion as he came into the winner's parade.
Compared to his earlier races, now he's much better and he's improved a lot. His temperament is amazing, and it's all the good luck done by the team. It's all about the teamwork, what we have done.
Murray's trainer S. Ganpati too was ecstatic at his coach's brilliant performance, especially after his shocking losses in Bangalore.
Champion horses sometimes off. We have to get upset with that. We have to move forward. When he's doing very well, I am very happy on this. We'll continue that.
Owner M.A.M. Ramaswamy was not physically present to witness his charges winning performance, but statements over the phone were more than sufficient to gauge his reaction. With cheers renting the air, the presentation ceremony kicked off as MD of Deltin Casinos Mr. Ashish Kapadia and head honcho Mr. Jaydev Modi did the presentation honours. The race for the Derby is heating up, and if the results of the two classics are anything to go by, the Derby promises to be a race that will deliver on excitement, thrills and A-grade racing prowess.
Well, that was all the action right here from the Royal Western India Turf Club at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse from the second classic of the Indian horse racing calendar, the Deltin Casinos Indian 2000 Guineas. It's a good time now for us to fly straight to Calcutta at Royal Calcutta Turf Club and take a look at the Calcutta Oaks. But before that, a quick breather right here on the winning post. Thank you for staying with us on the winning post and welcome back from Mumbai. We take a flight straight to Calcutta and take a look at all the action from the Calcutta Oaks at the Royal Calcutta Turf Club. This year, 6 fillies were in the fray. Let's see who reigns supremacy this year.
While all the action seems to be focused on Mumbai, with the Indian Classics underway, other centres in the country too are host to high-caliber racing action. And the Group 3 Calcutta Oaks on Saturday, December 21st was one such race. The Calcutta Oaks is a race open to 3-year-old fillies and is run over a trip of a grueling 2,400 metres. The race was first run during the 1967-68 season, with Desiree claiming top honours. In the past 10 years, 9 favourites have won the race, with the last of them being the S. Padmanabhan trained Chase the Sun, a burden of proof filly out of Catch Fire. The record time is held by Southern Empire, who clocked 2 minutes 28.08 in 2007. This year's renewal saw 6 fillies come into the parade ring, of which the most favoured was striking from Suleiman Ataul Lahizia, who was coming into the contest on the back of a win at the Calcutta 1000 Guineas on November 23rd, over 1600 metres, and with Trevor Patel on her back, looked ready to conquer the mile-and-a-half trip. Striking's main contender seemed to be Manvendra Singh trained Artesia, who had run behind Striking in the 1000 Guineas. The filly had C. Alford holding her reins and was looking at improving on that performance. The rest of the field consisted of Lantana Lady from Bath Stables, who was ridden by Neeraj Raval, the Aarti Doctor trained Shakti Roop, who was partnered by A. Sandesh, Santa Barbara from Peter Quinn's stable, ridden by P.S. Chauhan, and Vijay Singh's judge Fervent Quest, who had Shehzad Khan on her back. With the field all in, the starter sent them away.
They're now taking the first right-handed turn towards the 1800. A length away, Santa Barbara. There's Lantana Lady in third. A gap of 4 lengths away. There's Striking. 2 lengths away, Striking. There comes Artesia. A length and a half away, Artesia. There's Shakti Roop. They're nearing the 1600 meter marker. Fervent Quest it is by about 4 lengths in front of Santa Barbara. The mount of P.S. Chauhan is in second place. 2 lengths away, Santa Barbara. There's Lantana Lady with Neeraj Raval on top in third. A gap of 4 lengths away, there's Striking in the white and black jacket with Pete Trevor. 2 lengths away, there is Artesia with C. Alford. And a length and a half away, there's Shakti Roop with A. Sandesh. They're nearing the 1200 meter marker. Fervent Quest still called the tunes in this Calcutta Oaks 2013, and it's Santa Barbara's in second. 2 lengths away, Santa Barbara. There's Lantana Lady in third, and a gap of 3 lengths away, there's Striking. A length and a half away, Striking. There's Artesia. The order hasn't changed. A length and a half away, Artesia. There's Shakti Roop. They go well past the 1000 meter mark, and they're following a single file with Fervent Quest still calling the tunes in a start to finish mission by about 5 lengths in front of Santa Barbara, and the red jacket is in second place. A gap of 2 lengths away, there's Lantana Lady in third, and 3 lengths away, there's Striking. A length away, Striking. There comes Artesia. 2 lengths away, there's Shakti Roop. With about 600 meters more to judge here for the Calcutta Oaks, and it's Fervent Quest, the leader, by about a length in front of Santa Barbara, is in second place on the outside, not too far behind the Striking. Then comes Lantana Lady, a length away, Lantana Lady on the inside. There's Artesia. Here's the turn film. Round the turn and into the straight, and just look at Artesia. Gets the shortest way on the inside. Is the leader by about a length in front of Lantana Lady down in the center. On the outside, there comes Striking, but it's Artesia on the inside by about half in front of Striking. It's Artesia from Striking. These two going hammer and tong. It's Artesia from Striking. Artesia Striking. Artesia for the money. Gets it from Striking. Then came Lantana Lady. Then came Shakti Roop. Santa Barbara last of all.
As the runners turned for home, it was Artesia who took the lead from the rail side, with Striking making fervent strides from the outside to catch up with the leader. Artesia, however, held on to her lead and crossed the winning post just ahead of Striking, with Lantana Lady coming in third 5 1/4 lengths later. Artesia handed her trainer Manvendra Singh his first classic win, and her connections plenty to cheer about.
So on the winning post today, you took a look at a few classic winners. Now, what is it really that sets apart these classic winners from the rest of the pack? A very significant part of horse racing is the breeding aspect of it. And we tell you what is really the significance of breeding in this sport of horse racing. Take a break, this and more on the other side. Welcome back to the Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. Now, breeding is something which is very important to the sport of horse racing. So what is really more important? Is it the stallion? Is it the broodmare? It is an absolute battle of male versus females. Let's take a look at what the experts have to say about this.
In the age-old battle of the sexes comes another, stallions versus broodmares. Which of these is more important? As is the case with all debates, in this one too there are two opposing views, each with their own share of justifications and arguments, each of them equally valid.
This is a very controversial question, and a lot of people believe that the female family is equally important. I don't agree with that view. and I've proved it time and again that it's the sire that's much more important.
Well, naturally, it has to be both because, after all, a thoroughbred has parentage from both sides. But if you had to pick one, I think it would be the sire because the sire produces almost maybe 50 to 80 horses a year. The dam produces only one. So the influence of the sire in an owner's mind is most important.
It's a difficult question to ask, but if I had to choose one between the two, I would say that quality comes from the sire. Because the same dam given to different stallions produce different type of horses.
The broodmare, without a doubt. For one, I think any genetic pool, 75% is from the female side, even humans, I think. And 25% is the addition by the sire. That's the rule of thumb that I always follow anyway. If you look at whole of Europe, there are probably 4 dominant sires. You can't get to them now because the price is so high. The only way you compete with these sires, which are now controlled by 3 or 4 families, is through the female family. That's it. There's nothing else. Absolutely. I mean, this year's ARC winner is a typical example. Motivator is not a great sire. It's the mother who did it.
I don't think you can oversimplify these things. I think they both play an equally important role. Just to give you an example, if you have a plebeian mare bred to a top stallion, not likely she'll produce a star. Similarly, if you have a very well-bred mare and you cover her by an ordinary stallion, I don't think you'll get much. I think they both play an equally important role.
Stallions are often considered to be the more important half of the stallion-mare breeding equation, with breeders and owners both giving more importance to the sire line of the pedigree when buying or breeding a horse. In spite of this, there are some who give equal or sometimes even more importance to the dam line. So how does one determine which of these is more important?
It's a very interesting question. I'll come to the technical side of it first. According to the International Cataloging Standard and the International Stud Book Committee, a non-thoroughbred, if successfully mated 7 times with a thoroughbred, can be converted into a thoroughbred, which says that if you look at the calculation, it is 50% sire, 50% dam, then the next generation. So as per the books, it's 50-50%. My personal belief, both of them are equally important, but in a lot of cases there are prepotent stallions who stamp their stock very significantly. You can look at them and you can make out it's them, and that reflects in their performances as well.
A quick look at most classic winners in India suggests that sires stamp their broodline more prominently as compared to the dam. Razin is an excellent example of this. He is a sire who produced a crop of champions with 56 individual classic winners and more than 100 classic wins.
If you take in India, for example, sires like Razin, Placerville, and now multidimensional. So when an owner buys, if the sire is a top-class classic sire, then that would gain preference. And if especially it's out of a classic mare, then that's still better. But I think it's the domination of the sire that is most important in the purchase of a horse. We definitely look principally at the sire. For example, this year, a multi-dimensional out of virtually any mare would be preferred to another stallion with not that record. On the other hand, if it's a top-class mare from an average stallion, that is also good, but I think the first choice would be on choosing a stallion who has a proven record, who has produced classic winners.
Genetically though, the mare is responsible for 50% of the foal, with some breeders even arguing that the dam affects the offspring at a rate of 60% or even more. Temperament, talent and conformation are each tied closely to the mare's genetic structure, a structure she passes from generation to generation.
There are certain dams or certain brood mares that are blue hens. That means that they have so much quality themselves that whichever stallion they go to, they still produce a good horse. But if they were given to a superior stallion, they would produce a champion. However, if you have a top-class stallion, you know, a prepotent stallion that stamps his progeny, then even mediocre mares can produce champion horses.
There are a bunch of blue hen mares who mated to different stallions, have consistently produced good horses.
Well, always the mare produces. I would go for a very well bred mare. I wouldn't buy an ordinarily bred mare. So mare is very important.
After all is said and done, the battle between the sexes rages on, with no definite conclusion in sight, with most in the fraternity still giving more weightage to the sire than the dam.
Assuming that the conformations are equal and they fulfill the other criterias, if a mare has consistently produced a lot of winners with various stallions, I don't mind picking up from the mare. Otherwise, it would be from the stallion. It's good to have a prepotent stallion if you can in your system. They really upgrade the stock overall. And a lot of lineages over the period of time. If you look at the one in Europe right now, which is a Sadler's Wells Galileo ones, it's a classic example of a very prepotent stallion, depending on that.
Very rarely, and more so, that if the sire is not a successful sire of sires, his son, even if they are Derby winners, when they go to stud, they fail. So you see the Northern Dancer family, most of the champion sires that have come out worldwide have been his sons and his grandsons. Same way Mr. Prospector. And so definitely I feel predominantly the sire plays a much bigger role than the female. I'm not saying that the female has no role to play. Another good example is if you see the leading studs in India, it's the leading stud who's got the leading sire that becomes the leading stud.
You see Razin, numbered account. You see multidimensional, he comes from the female line of Mr. Prospector. You see all the top stallions in the world. Galileo, Sadler's Wells, Danehill, they all have superb dam lines because the father is the same and then the mother makes a difference when you have a superior father. But of course, if you didn't have a Danehill on top or a Northern Dancer on top, then you wouldn't start.
In spite of this, it is amply evident that the mare plays an undeniably essential role in the breeding equation and is equally, if not more important than the stallion.
And there's a lot of other factors. There's conformation, there's upbringing, there's training. All these things come into play. So if you ask me to, sort of put it on the line, I'd say they both play an equally important part in progeny.
Well, that's all that we have for you today on this Power Packed episode of the Winning Post powered by the Serum Institute of India. We're going to continue bringing all the horse racing action from around the world as always. But if you've missed something, you should catch us on the YouTube channel or on Facebook or on Twitter as well. Until I see you next week, may the horse be with you.